3, 2, 1.
Hey buddy, hey everybody, welcome to the Red Hot Underdogs, the podcast that for the 100th time collects the wooden spoon. So there we go, 100 episodes of the Red Hot Underdogs, we did it. It's actually got a low percentage rate of podcasts that make 100 episodes. It's actually 6.5% according to Google. It doesn't mean that we're good. It just means that we're very fucking resilient.
100 episodes.
Yes.
It's meant to be good. Come on, do you want to come? You want to say hello or you going to play?
That's all right. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But listen, we've got quite the episode today. We were going to do a retrospective 100 episodes on everything that had happened during the course of this podcast, but instead we are actually going to do our tips this year for where everything is going to be placed with regards to the NRL table. So we're going to do a prediction for 2026 NRL.
3 years old and I get yelled at. Seriously.
That's all right. While you were gone, I'm not going to waste any time. I just mentioned that we were going to do a retrospective 100 episode, but instead we decided to kibosh all of that and go straight for the tipping 2026. Yeah. We're going to start at number 1 and work our way to 17. Usually you go from the spoon first and work your way to number 1. Yeah. We're going to do it differently, aren't we?
Well, 100 episodes, Drewy. We've done things differently for 100 episodes. That's for sure. It hasn't changed.
Correct. So starting off at, you want to count me in?
Number 1, starting here.
Beautiful. Somebody's got to bloody carry the bags here, doing all the heavy lifting, Mr.
So we don't say the Storm. Please don't say the Storm. Please.
Coming in at number 1 for me. Now, this is regular season, not semi-final. So my minor premier this year will be none other than...
Premier. That's a big thing to preface us, or whatever the word is. Yeah. Okay.
None other than the Penrith Panthers.
So
I know we've had Panther fatigue over the years. I know they won their 4 straight. Thank God they didn't win 5. Now, last year they were actually going pretty terrible because they lost a number of players and were actually coming last after the 12th round. However, their resilience and their way to find their way back into the competition and beat the pointy end of the season at the end of the season impressed me greatly. Let's not forget that at halftime in the preliminary final, in order to get into the grand final, they were actually leading the Broncos 14-0. And that was a Broncos side that showed enormous resilience right through that semi-final series. So the Panthers, for me, they've got their direction back. They know where they want to go. And they've got a renewed hunger given the fact that they didn't win the premiership last year. Their key players will be Nathan Cleary, Paul Alamotti, Edwards, Kenny, the 2 McLean brothers, To'o, Isaiah Yeo, Sorensen, strike all over the park. I think that they're going to be awesome. Yeah. They got my number 1.
And do you think that what happened last year will just fuel the fire?
100%. As strange as it sounds, I think they needed 1 year not to win it, just to get that extra motivation back. It sounds ridiculous, but if you win too often, not only can it get boring, I know people say it doesn't get boring, but there is an invested hunger that you don't get from missing out on what you want. And that's what happened last year.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, I hope you're wrong, but, you got some good points. The whole team's good, aren't they? They're all playmakers.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to count us in for the next one? What have we got next?
Number 2.
Number 2. And I've got some construction happening upstairs, not me, the unit above.
You got construction. I got 3-year-olds screaming at me. It's episode 100. Like, when has this ever, changed?
Yeah, I know. Nothing ever runs to plan.
You know what I mean? Like, any other passer to give up. But we're like,
correct.
Like screamy kids, construction. Hey, why are they doing construction? It's a Sunday morning.
Yeah, I know, idiots. Hey, nothing runs to plan in my life anyway. Number 2, none other than the Brisbane Broncos,
Okay,
last
right.
year's premiers. It was far too hard to leave them out of the number 2 spot. And now listen, I actually deliberated over this for a while, the 1 and 2 positions. They're interchangeable. I've got absolutely no argument if people want to have the Brisbane Broncos at number 1.
Yeah.
For me, it was a bit of a toss of the coin.
Yeah.
So for the Broncos, their key players this year, as was for much of last year, will be Reynolds, Hunt, Mariner, Staggs, Mam, Mr. Cocaine Cowboy, Shibasaki, Karapani, Carrigan, Haas, and Walsh. That is an absolute star-studded lineup. Reece Walsh being an absolute major X factor.
Yeah, he's X factor. It's the toilet water. We talked about it.
Yeah, mate, forget your Gatorade. Just go to your bowl and push that flush button.
Yeah.
I just think they've got a robust forward pack, dynamic back line. Like I said earlier, strike over all over the park. And unlike Kevy Walters, Madge Maguire will be sticking his size 12 boot up the arse of every player during training and the pre-season. He won't rest on any laurels.
Yeah.
So I expect the Broncos to do very well, and that's why I have them in my number 2 position.
Number 2, I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
You want to count us in?
Number 3.
Beautiful. Number 3. Cock-a-doodle-doo. How do you do? I've got the mighty Roosters.
No.
This might come as a surprise to some people.
Not 3. Seriously.
Oh, mate, and this is a good thing. Not everyone's going to agree. There are going to be some that people hate. Listen, their key players this year obviously will be Tupou, Tedesco, Nwanga-Nitawaze, Toya, Walker, Leniu, Nafahu White, and they've got Robson, who's come from the Cowboys, and they've also got Daly Cherry Evans, who's come from the Sea Eagles. Mate, that is a killer roster. I just think they grossly underachieved last year. They did have a number of injuries, and I just think that pack is far too good to keep out of the 4 if they are composed and they concentrate and stay on the job and stay disciplined like they should, if they get the most out of their potential, in short.
I mean, are you, do you like the Roosters more or less now Cherry Evans is playing with them?
I've always hated the Roosters the same, regardless. It doesn't change for me. It's just another day, regardless of if he's there or if he's not. The one thing about the Roosters, though, is they've always been question marks over the salary cap. They don't have a salary cap. They've got the famous salary sombrero, and their chairman, Nick Politis, will be always ready to pull out that checkbook at any time, like daddy's checkbook, trying to fix his son's or daughter's mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they'll never struggle, because they don't sort of breed juniors. They just pull out Nick Politis' checkbook.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
But,
just to bring it back, I'm kind of, I don't want Roosters to win, but I do want Cherry Evans to do well.
Yeah, but I do hope he gets booed at Brookvale Oval, given that we're Sea Eagles supporters nonetheless. So I won't give him a pass on that.
Okay. You mean you want him to do badly at Brookvale Oval when they play?
Yeah, why not? Do you want to count us in for the next?
Okay, top 4. This is number 4.
Okay, number 4. Woof, woof. I have got a list that's going to divide some people, and I don't give a shit. You know what? I like the way the Bulldogs are heading. They didn't end last season very well. In fact, I will say that they foolishly sacrificed and sabotaged last year's season. Yeah. They had Toby Sexton at halfback, and out of nowhere they bring in Lockie Galvin because they didn't think they were going to win a premiership. Guess what, idiots? You were coming first. Yeah. How dumb is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Why
But
do you make a big change
yeah,
if you're coming first? Well, what's that saying? If it's not broken, why fix it?
that's correct. But given everything that went on last year, they've had time to play there with Galvin. It hasn't gelled yet, but I think it will. I think they've got far too many good players around them. They've got a good forward pack, good backs. Their key players will be Sherry, Carraz, Galvin, Burton, Crichton, Preston, Leo Thompson, who's coming from the Knights, so he'll be a big addition. Kick out and Tupanua. I just think there's too much class there not to make the top four, but of any of my tips, for me, this was the biggest gamble out of all of them because there is a world where the Galvin experiment doesn't gel. I think
Yeah.
it will.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I could be looking at a Bulldogs coming 13th or 14th or 12th.
Yeah.
And there's a real possibility. For me, this was my biggest gamble pick.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's young enough to make stuff work. You know, well,
Yeah.
okay, well, there's a question. Are you better off to have a Galvin or a Cherry Evans? Like which one would fit in to a new team quicker?
To be honest, I don't like sitting on the fence, but there's no definitive answer for that. I'll tell you why, because we know what Cherry Evans can do. We know what he's done in the past. We feel we know what Galvin has done. There's a lot of potential, but I don't think we've seen enough of his career in order to make an accurate statement on that one.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. First team to not make the top four, Drewy reckons it is 5.
Lightning and thunder, everything else under, nothing but the Melbourne Storm.
Okay, it's still up there, but this would be the first time they haven't made the top 4 in
yeah.
Leg.
Now, this might be a slight point of contention, and if people who don't like my selection, that's fine. But it's not like I'm putting them at 10th or 9th or outside the 8th. They're still in the 8th.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to drop back this year. Back-to-back grand final losses doesn't exactly help them psychologically.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, no matter how much you change your mindset, that's can do about as much damage as a Sunday hangover.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I think Bellamy's sort of demand for perfection and it being his 26th season at the joint, 26 seasons, I feel that there could be a stale effect with the Melbourne Storm. That's a long time. They've also lost gun forward Nelson, Asafa Solomona, and gun back Ryan Pappenhausen. Now, they're two huge losses.
Where did Pappenhausen retired, right?
I think he went to rugby. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a big Melbourne Storm fan. Maybe rugby. I think he's too early to retire.
Yeah.
But and Nelson is pursuing a boxing career. Good luck with that, Nelson.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
I don't like your chances, champ. You're a big lump. Maybe just fight some domestic scraps.
Yeah.
But in saying that, they still do have good key players like Munster, Hughes, Grant, and Coates, which is nothing to be sneezed at. I just feel that those two losses, one in the forwards and one in the back, plus the stale Bellamy effect and losing 2 grand finals, lends itself to just being slightly outside the top 4 for me.
Yeah. Okay. Rugby league. I'm so excited. It's around this time where you're like, you're over 20, the year before, and you're looking forward to rugby league starting,
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives people like you and I, Drewy, a thing to look forward to on the weekend.
Breaks the monotony of a screaming, arguing wife. Shout out to our female listeners. You probably feel the same way about your husband, so not a problem.
But when we look, the stats about who watches our podcast, it's like 90% blokes and 90% above 40 or something. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, 100%.
My point is, I forgot my point, but my point was
Yeah.
No, thank God for rugby league. That's it.
Thank God for rugby league. Now, just to prove that I'm a very observant character, coming in at number 6 is
Six.
the animal that matches your cup during this podcast.
Ah,
None other than the Sharks. Nice
okay.
Jaws mug. Thank you very much.
It's still up there. Yes, you know, there's a couple of teams you haven't mentioned that I thought you'd mention, but let's go with the Sharks. Let's talk about them.
Yeah. And that's the whole surprise of the countdown. So, obviously, I believe that they'll feature in the semis once again. They do have the Greg Norman effect with golf, whereby they get to the pointy end of the situation
Yeah.
and they seem to choke. I do feel that they turned somewhat of a corner last year because they did end up beating the Roosters and the Raiders last year to make the preliminary final.
Yeah.
So that was a corner turned. For me, before then, they just had this glut of losses in semi-finals, and they'd just be there to make up the numbers no matter where they ended up on the table. But last year, for me, they definitely turned a corner. For me, it's more of a mental issue with them than a physical, and they actually, to my way of thinking, have one of the more underrated teams within the whole competition. So their key players will be Nico Hines, it'll be Trindle, Iro, Brayley, Fanua Blake, and McInnes. They're just a real workman-like team
Yeah.
and just a gritty team. Nothing flash, but consistently they have been getting into the semis and getting good results. It's just been at the pointy end that's been the problem, and for them, they are my number 6.
It's it, number 6. Yep. Okay. All right.
Yep,
All
yep.
right. That's number 7. Number 7, Joy.
Last year's minor premiers, none
Okay.
other than the Canberra Raiders.
Big change from first to seventh. Big change, but that's a huge drop. Let's be honest.
That's a huge drop. Now, I know this will rub people the wrong way, twist a few tampons, and
Yeah.
get a couple of undies in a knot.
Yeah.
But I've got to feel that the straight sets losses last year in that semi-finals is a huge psychological blow.
Yeah.
Not only that, they also lose their halfback from last year, who comes over to Manly,
Yeah.
Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah.
So that's one of your key players there straight away.
Can we ask a little bit about? Oh, sorry, I've interrupted, but about Footy. Do you think that's a good buy for Manly? Do you think it's good for Canberra?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's exactly what Manly need.
Mm.
We'll stay on the Raiders, but just in short, to wrap it up, I think they need somebody who isn't quite so flashy, but more of a game manager. And I think that will suit Manly this year. But getting back to the Raiders,
Right.
the psychological effect of last year, losing those two, I think another thing that people don't contend with, they will be an absolute target this year. Last year, they were enormously underrated.
Yeah.
And a lot of prediction ladders, some people had them as low as last.
Yeah.
I think I had them somewhere around the 13th mark for memory.
Yeah.
And they ended up putting egg on everybody's face. But this year, nobody's underestimating them. So by the time that they weren't underestimated at that point, they were playing at such a high level and with such confidence that it became the snowball effect until, of course, the semi-finals. Just quickly, I think Ricky Stewart's a great captain. I just think he made the absolute dumbest decision of 2025 last year when he petitioned to have the Raiders play their first semi-final on a Sunday. They were originally due to have it on Saturday night, where the grass would have been dewy, it would have been cold, it would have been kind of slippery underfoot.
Canberra weather.
And
you know, they're
forgiving the Broncos a dry paddock.
Canberra weather, you know, those Queenslanders don't know what it's like to experience weather that's, you know, close to zero. They don't experience it unless they go on a ski trip or something, you know.
Absolutely. So to give the Broncos that dry ground and dry conditions to work on, it allowed them to come back, and it allowed sort of Canberra to really fuck up their season monumentally. But Ricky will learn from that.
Cool. I don't know whether you can write the Broncos off because there's a bit of dew on the ground. You're like, yeah, oh, Ricky's fault. Everything's Ricky's fault.
No, mate, as good as the Broncos were at coming back, they
Right.
might have come back to within 8 or 6 points. But
Yeah.
you've got to imagine, if there's 20 minutes to go and Canberra ahead by 16, okay, Broncos might come back. I don't think they're going to get the full complement of points because they don't have a dry track and a dry ball to work with.
Yeah.
And dry weather, perfect comeback conditions.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's in the past, and Ricky has to live with that.
Yeah.
But good luck to all you Raiders. I don't hate on you because I had you in the 7.
Yeah.
And if you still don't like me, relax yourself.
Mate, 7, like 7's awesome. You know,
Yeah, 7's awesome.
if you get top 8,
Yeah.
every team should be happy. Absolutely everyone.
Correct.
Because top 8, you can win it. Okay.
Yes.
Moving on to number 8.
8, correct. Even though you're holding up like 10 fingers, but yeah, 8. I know you got it right now. Well done. Good correction. So in at number 8, we've got the mighty Rabbitohs.
Oh God, you serious?
Now their key players this year will be Mitchell, Johnston, Walker, Graham, White, and Murray and Smith.
No.
Mate, they were beset with a Gallipoli-like bloodbath list of injuries last year that was beyond their fault, and I think that was the major catalyst for how rubbish they went last year.
Yeah, Latrell.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. Latrell's playing for him this year.
Yeah.
I didn't like him. We talked a lot about that, but he is phenomenal. He's young, and he is just getting better.
Mate, they have got some great players. They really do. Sam Walker and Cameron Murray, and as I said, White. For reference, one of the games last year, they had over $4 million of their salary cap that weren't playing because they were injured. And honestly, literally for 3/4 of the season, they were basically running out of reserve grade side, and they still didn't finish last. But it'll also be a case of whether, and one thing people don't mention, is Wayne Bennett getting past it. Will it be a case of him sprinkling his magic dust or his mantelpiece dust this year?
Some dust for sure.
It could end up being mantelpiece dust if the dementia's setting in, or if he's getting a bit slower, or turns up to the wrong ground. We speak of the Bennett effect, but that also plays into it.
He'll turn up with a Broncos hat.
Yeah, that'd be right. They've also got one thing.
Possible. That's really possible.
It is possible. They'd have to sort of change their coach like America changed Joe Biden through the election.
The
other thing that they do have in their favour, the Rabbitohs, they're also getting ill-disciplined but absolute gun forward from the Titans, David Fifita. Absolute awesome player on his day. It just depends whether you can get the best of him or whether the right David Fifita shows up. But for me, that's the Rabbitohs coming in at 8th.
Mm-hmm. Look, I now you said all that, it makes sense. But isn't it funny that some teams you write off before you even kind of think about it? You know?
Yeah.
Like, and
that's what the podcast is.
You're like, nah, we're kind of back to writing the Bunnings off. That was 4 years ago when they were all right. Now they're gone. But and I didn't.
You got to look behind the curtain.
I didn't know that they had like $4 million worth of injuries last year. I didn't know that we ran that deep and stuff. You know.
Yeah, mate. It got hectic. So the most injuries in the comp last year.
Yeah,
coming in at
that can happen to any team, can't it? You know,
it absolutely can, and it happened to them. So they've got me in 8. I've got them in 8.
Okay, all right. Well, from 9 till 17, I'm just as interested as 1 to 8. So let's go. Who is your first team to miss out? Number 9
is the mighty Dolphins.
Oh, okay. I think no, you didn't say that last year. You said Dolphins would come last year.
Last year I had them with the spoon.
But they came ninth. Is that right? They did come ninth.
I think they came ninth last year, yes.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Dolphins support, there are going to be a lot of people come at me with this one because a lot of people think that the Dolphins are the hot ticket to make the 8. And if you don't say that they are, a lot of people get a little bit disgruntled.
Yeah.
But for me, listen, they've come close all 3 years.
Yeah. Oh, so they haven't made the top 8 yet. They haven't made
it. Never made it. I think they've got like 9 a few times.
Overachieved every year.
Absolutely. So they have got a good blend of youth and experience. And they showed it, and I truly underestimated it coming into last season, one of the absolute most dynamic attacking outfits in the entire competition.
Yeah.
They can beat anyone on their day. I think they had about 3 games last year where they scored over 50.
Yeah, it could have been more, but they when they are playing like that, isn't it exciting? You know?
Yeah.
So
it is. It is. However, with Jekyll comes Mr. Hyde, and with Mr. Hyde comes Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah.
So my caveat to that is as good as...
Did you make that up just now?
I did make that up. You like that one?
Yeah. Say it once more. With Dr. Jekyll comes Mr. Hyde, and with Mr. Hyde comes
Dr. Jekyll. There you go. We give you all the sound bites here on the Red Hot Underdogs.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, and I say that in regards to their defense.
Yeah.
So, as equally as good as their attack is, their defense at times can be absolutely horrendous. I do believe in the last 4 rounds of last season, they didn't have any less than 30 points scored against them. And they even had Manly score 50 against them at the end of last year. So they had a number of scores run up on them last year.
Yeah.
So as good as they are at scoring points, that is my main problem. Now, if you want to get into the top 8, defense is key. And as good as their attack has been, their defense has let them down. And even the most staunch advocate of the Dolphins making the 8 has got to admit that their defense has been a weakness at times, and a glaring one. But for them, they've got their key players will be Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, Katoa, Farnworth, Cobbo, who's come over from the Broncos, Flegler, Plath, and Gilbert. And for them, it'll just be consistency will be their key, and mainly in defense. So for me, I have the Dolphins in at number 9, and that is that.
List, and it's a bit of a rush, but here they are. It's their 4th year.
Yeah.
And this team, for any competition, anywhere, screams success. Can you just sum up why they've been such a success in only 3 years? Why? And I don't mean at playing too, like at supporters.
Yeah.
Why, Drew? Because there's teams out there that have flopped in other codes and rugby league as well.
Listen,
been such a success. Very quickly.
I'll tell you one reason why. Now, I had tipped them wrongly last year, and they made an absolute fool out of me because I thought that the gap between the oldest players and the youngest was too great. It wasn't. I questioned.
To go, mate. We got like
beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually questioned their roster. It is that mix of youth and experience, and the way that they've actually gone about forming a roster with their club coming in, which has been the main key to success. And we better move on to
roster.
Number.
That's your answer. Roster.
Absolutely, the roster.
Am I allowed to say I don't agree? It's just roster. You know.
You are more than able to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't.
Can I tell you why the Dolphins?
All right.
Okay. Number 1, location.
Yeah. Okay.
Location, or just location, and they picked the right place. Okay.
Yeah.
They picked the right place. And number 2, marketing.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Colors, the the mascot, the stadium, the advertising. There you go. Location and marketing.
That's good enough for me. Getting on to
and what you said. What you say?
Yeah, and what I said.
Yeah, and what you said.
You want to count us into the next?
Well, I can't remember. This is 10. 10.
No. Are you counting into number 10? Thank you very much.
Yeah, 10.
Number 10.
10. 10.
You're right.
Yeah.
None other than the New Zealand Warriors.
Oh my goodness, they dropped a lot. You serious?
Now, I think the Warriors will be okay.
Yeah.
They won't quite make the 8. They were going like a house on fire last year before they lost their star halfback, Luke Metcalf, and gun forward, Mitch Barnett. Their key players will be Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, let me get my teeth back in, and James Fisher-Harris. And they're also the club, obviously, the way you don't want to read out main key players, because they've got the most double-barrel names in the fucking competition.
Anyway. They're the hardest for commentators to talk about. Look.
Correct. But they've also got Titans.
There, Drewy. I really do. I really do feel you could be wrong calling them.
No, and that's fair enough. They've also got Khan Pereira from the Titans, who is a massive loss for the Titans, but a good pickup for the Warriors. They've got plenty of support. They've got the whole Wars narrative behind them. I think for the most part, might be at odds with most people's thought process, but I think they've been great underachievers in the NRL over a long period of time. I get the fact that rugby union is their chief game over there, but for God's sake, you've got an entire country to find some gun players. And it's much easier converting from rugby union to league than it is from league to union. All that being said, I think the Warriors will have a very good season, just not good enough to make the 8, and that's my number 10.
But you said that they've underachieved over 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But last year, they didn't. Last year, they overachieved. I think they got 5th, right?
Yeah, they did pretty well. I'm not feeling it this year. I think there are a number of circumstances last year that also helped them. Teams with a number of injuries and whatnot. But we better get on to.
We got 7 to go and 6 minutes. Number
11. Yeah, beautiful. I've got none other than the slippery Eels. So good old Parramatta Eel. I know you're waiting for our side. It'll come.
Eels.
Yeah. Their key players for me are Moses, Iongi, Adokar, Paulo, Pezzett, and Papali'i.
Can I just ask one thing? Have you put Manly as the wooden spoon?
No.
Okay.
So you can breathe a sigh of relief.
You put them second last, haven't you? All right. Okay, Eels, blah, blah, blah. Next one.
Wait, no. I think their main key for me will be having Mitchell Moses on the ground all year. That's what stuffed them last year. I also like the direction that Jason Riles has the Eels going. They weren't going particularly well at the start, but by the end, I thought he had them somewhat humming, and I like the direction they're going. And that's all I'm going to say about Parramatta.
Number, what are we up to? 12.
What are you going to do? Are we going to do it? Yes, we're going to do it. Let's do it. Let's do the Eagle Rock. Number 12. The mighty Manly Sea Eagles.
For Manly. Okay. All right. We've got 5 minutes. Let's spend 4 minutes on Manly and then.
You're an idiot. So, look, their key players obviously will be Tommy Turbo. Got to keep that bastard out of the garage.
Are we sick of saying that or not? You know,
mate, he breaks down more times than a 2-bob watch.
Yeah.
We've also other key players will be Brooks. I think Fogarty is a good addition from the Canberra Raiders. Garrick Saab, Paseka, who I thought was a massive loss last year. Ola Kawatu and Totu Kula. Great side on paper.
Who was the loss? Paseka, what'd you say?
Paseka, he got injured in round 2 last year. Extremely underrated forward. Huge. That left a great big hole in in our pack, both
Yeah.
in attack and defence.
Yeah.
I think it's good that Cherry Evans is gone. I like this new slate. I don't look. Cherry Evans put in good efforts for the Sea Eagles. He just looked tired. He looked like a guy that had been there for
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. And I just think that it'll be a case of keeping Turbo on the paddock. Again, I think that Fogarty is a great addition. We don't need that flashy player. We just need the good, solid game manager for the rebuild, and he's exactly that.
Okay, just one question about Manly.
Yep.
Got 3 minutes. My one question is, so now Turbo plays an average of less than half, maybe a third to a quarter. So, what are they just going to fluff around the captaincy? You know, like does everybody like draw straws who gets it for 3/4 of the year? Is that how it works?
Well, mate, we'll have to just wait and see. They've finished 12th on my list for a reason, and I don't have too much more for you to say on that.
I just don't expect Turbo to play a full season. Is that
no
to say that? I just don't.
No, that's more than fair. My only other question about Manly, when they put it together, they're awesome. The one thing I don't like about them, and it's still a great big problem, the elephant in the room, Anthony Seibold. How fucking stupid is Manly and their administration? The fact that when the Broncos got rid of him, they pick him 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
You know, a wooden spoon coach nonetheless, and I think we've been paying for it ever since.
2.5 minutes, just smash them out. Smash them out.
Cowboys are my 13th.
Wow. Okay. Big call.
I'll tell you why. One of the greatest packs in the competition, Drinkwater, Dearden, Hess, Lukey, Taumalolo, Nanai, Reed Marnie's going up there, Taulagi, Purdue, stars everywhere. Fantastic. They just can't put it together. Easy to blame the coach, but he's been there for a number of years, and they've been underachieving under a stellar roster. Simply not good enough. Tigers 14th. Wow. I'm sorry, but the Tigers are that.
Yeah, same as last.
Yeah. Now, people are going to go at me for going, well, why aren't they near the 8? I reckon Tigers will be good this year. How long have we been hearing that on fucking loop? You know what the Tigers are? If the Tigers were a person, they'd be that useless cunt that has 4 kids to 3 different women. He's not with any of the women. He asks you for lunch money. He asks you for credit for your phone. Just can't get his shit together or can't get out of their own way. Needless to say...
Tiger supporters. You just summed up every Tiger supporter. Not Connor, though. That guy's a legend.
No, he's a legend. Needless to say, they do have enough good players to have them off the spoon. Yeah. That in the likes of Dewey, Buller, Luai, Skelton, the 2 Finus, Taruva, May, Coruscant, 2 May brothers. I just... And a very inexperienced coach. Like, Benji Marshall literally walked in off his L plates into a fucking plum gig. Not the way they usually do it. Sorry, Tigers 14th. For me, 15th, the Dragons. I'm sorry, not Kyle Flanagan, Shane Flanagan, Coach Flanagan.
There, yeah.
You've got to stop picking your son. Yeah. He's just not doing any well. Your son should not be in the... I'm sure he's a great bloke and you're an awesome dad and all of that frilly shit, but I don't even care about the Dragons and I'm frustrated by it. So I can only imagine what the fucking Dragon supporters would be feeling. Their key players are basically Gutherson, Cook and Holmes, all of which are almost entering the retirement. Good.
3, 2, 1. We've started a new meeting because we didn't finish and suddenly we're in such a rush and now we got all the time in the world. So
yeah, that's true. I can take my time a little bit.
Take your time. And I thought even after we do this list, we could talk about 100 episodes with the Red Hot Underdogs just for 5 minutes or so. Is that good?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Dragons.
Dragons, number 16, was it?
Number 15.
15, okay.
Number 15. So Shane Flanagan, stop picking your son. Yeah. We covered that. Also, like I covered, outside of Cook, Gutherson and Holmes, who are all veterans of the game, the roster falls off a cliff very, very sharply. And I'm sorry, I just don't see too much hope for the Red V this year.
Yeah, not many people could argue that. I said that just now, didn't I? There you go.
Yeah. So I think we all feel that. And I think that's pretty much covered the
They're a wooden
Dragons.
spoon contender, definitely.
They are a contender for it. I can't argue that one
One
either.
question.
Yeah.
Is Manly a wooden spoon contender?
I'll put it this way. I think Manly suck, but I don't think they suck bad enough to be a wooden spoon contender.
Agreed.
They're just that next echelon up from club fighter.
Should you say they don't suck bad enough or they don't suck enough?
And, this is a Manly fan. We're not hating on Manly. Anyone who's been watching the Red Hot Underdogs know we're Manly fans through and through, which means we're probably a bit hard on them, but that's what people do with support their team.
Yeah.
It's like a parent with their child. So there it is.
More likely, Drewy, last question.
Yeah.
More likely Manly make the top 8 or make the wooden spoon?
Top 8, but neither. I think more likely they just fall into that no man's land, the big black hole in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But number 16.
16. Yeah.
None other than the Newcastle Knights.
Oh, yeah. No argument there.
I think they'll avoid last year's wooden spoon, mainly basically on the premise of their new signing, which is Dylan Brown from the Eels. I think he'll add just enough class to help them avoid the wooden spoon. Yeah. Doesn't that sound strange?
Yeah.
And just enough class to avoid the wooden spoon. Yeah. So, I mean, their best players are Bradman Best, Dominic Young, Dane Gagai, Kalen Ponga, and you got Brown. They're the players to look out for. They've got an extremely underwhelming forward pack. Their forward pack has very little potency. It's like somebody's put a Tic Tac in a 98-year-old's Viagra case. It's just lacks that starch and stiffness.
2 years ago, you tipped them as 5th, though. Or was that?
I don't think I've.
2 years.
No, I never tipped them as 5th. No, I had them last year. I'm going to say last year I had them around 12th.
Okay. What about the year before? I think you had them as 8th or 9th. Or
I don't think we did a prediction one the year before. Last year was our first one. So there you go. But even from then, they've fallen a long, long way. Yeah. And I think the ghosts of last year are going to haunt them.
Yeah.
They've got Justin Holbrook in as a new coach who, in some sort of strange way, now I'm going to reveal who came last. Anyone with half a brain can reveal who came last. But the ironic thing is I've got Knights at 16th.
Yeah.
And the guy who was coach at the Titans who got sacked is Justin Holbrook, who's now been appointed to steer the ship at the Knights.
Okay. Yeah.
For the record, I don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's an awesome coach. I just think he's, a warm pie without sauce.
Yeah.
In a club that has very little in the way of forwards and 2 backs to rest your rosary beads on. It doesn't make for a great listing for me, the Mighty Knights. But shout out to all you Novocastrians.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. 17.
None other than the Gold Coast Titans.
Oh, you've given a spoon to the Titans. But what's happened with good old Desi now? So he's gone. Yeah.
Oh, mate, he's up there on the coast going to the RSL clubs, banging the old birds who have the blue rinse hair.
Yeah.
Playing on the slaps, the bloody Queen of the Nile, having a swim in the ocean. Big fitness guy, big beach guy.
Yeah. Is he working in rugby league or he's just...
I doubt it. I think he's had it with league.
He's staying up there though, right?
Yeah, I think so. I could just imagine Desi just overlooking the bloody beach there in his bloody
I think he's
in
fishing.
his spa bath with his big panoramic views going, this'll do me now. I've achieved what I wanted to as a player, as a coach.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't leave on great terms as a coach.
Yeah.
He's had a prolific career as both.
Yeah. Do you think he'll be back?
No, I don't. And it shows how much we give a shit about the Titans when we're spending our entire moment talking about their former coach as opposed to their chances.
Okay, let's talk about their chances then. You know?
Their chances aren't great.
Yeah.
So they had 3 massive losses to their roster.
Who's their coach?
Justin Holbrook.
Okay, yep.
Yes. It was actually also, ironically enough, a former Knights player. So, anyway...
Is that ironic or is that coincidence?
Oh, it could be either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need somebody smarter than my own intellectual pay grade to decipher the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
they
had some losses in David Fafita, Khan Pereira, and Brian Kelly, which were all 3 big losses, not necessarily massive losses on a scale when you consider top teams or middle-of-the-road teams, but this was big.
This was their best players.
For the Titans. This is big for the Titans. So, like, if you're a bird looking to pick up some bloke at a club and you've only got 1 tooth left in your mouth and some bloke accidentally knocks it out at the nightclub because he waves his drink around.
Knocks your 1 tooth out.
Yeah, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And that's what the Titans are in losing Fafita, Khan Pereira, and Kelly.
Where's that Pereira gone? He was good.
I mentioned him earlier on. He's gone to the Warriors.
Warriors, okay.
I do believe.
Yeah, he's good.
So, you know,
they got rid of 3 of the best players. Who have they got?
Oh, they've still got some very good players like AJ Brimson, Tino Fasulamala-Awi, Jaden Campbell, Keanu Kinney, Bo Fermor, and Verrills.
But my question is, they've sold 3 of their best players. What players have they got?
No, they haven't brought in any really good players. But those key players that I pointed out, Fasulamala-Awi, Brimson, Campbell, Kinney, Fermor, and Verrills, it's more... This is why I've got them at 17th. They're the key players to look out for, but it's more of the same. It's more of the same usual suspects, whereby they're down near the bottom of the table anyway. Yeah. So for me, there's not really a lot to look forward to if you're a Titans fan.
Yeah. Okay. So Titans, Knights, and look at this.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up everything.
Hey, look at that. Hey, Drew.
Hey, beautiful. You get brought breakfast. That's awesome. So, yeah, I think, and that pretty much wraps it up for the countdown.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Anything else to add? Not much?
Well, I think Canberra's going to go better than you thought. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And I think you're right with Titans. Unfortunately, I think you're right with Manly too.
Yeah.
What you say?
It'll just be
14 for Manly.
Sorry?
Look, really, I think Panthers could come top again. I really do.
The intriguing thing about these lists is it's just a case of wait and see and how it comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I will let you get on with your wonderful breakfast.
Okay. Yep.
And you have a great Sunday.
Okay. Yep. And episode 100, we did it. Congratulations.
We did it. And thank you everyone who's not necessarily all of you have stayed with us the course because a lot of you have dropped off. Some of you have. We love you.
Yeah.
And to anyone who tunes in and out, we'll take what we can get. And as far as like and subscribe is concerned, we'll take what we can fucking get. Like and subscribe. And thanks everyone. Beautiful. Cheers, mate. Bye.